Hey Gemini, welcome to Aria Moon Tarot, and thank you so much for being here. This is your love reading. For anyone with Sun, Moon, or Rising in Gemini, it's a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If it doesn't, check your other placements. All right, let's get started. The Knight of Cups. Interesting that you have all of this Cups energy coming out for you. Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We might be dealing with some slow moving energy for you. You might be in a time where it feels like things are taking a little while to come through. It could even be that you're like confused about where you are on your path. Like, is this the right way? Is this the right track? Am I doing the right thing? I love that you had all this Cups energy come out, because for me, Cups energy is always really supportive, and it has kind of a nurturing quality. A really empathetic quality. So I do think we're still playing around with that energy of being very kind to yourself as you embark on this new journey. You had the Fool come out, so I do feel like a lot of you are at least playing around with the idea of embarking on a new journey if you haven't already started. But what I'm seeing here is that you might be at the very beginning stages of this new journey. This might be an idea. This might be that you've taken a few steps, but you don't know exactly where it's going to lead. It's this feeling of getting ready to step off of a cliff. And it can be an exciting time, but it can also be scary, especially if these energies are kind of overwhelming. But I see you taking action with this Knight of Cups. You even had the Knight of Pentacles. These would be the two slower moving knights out of the four. So it could have taken a while. It could be taking a while to find your footing. It could be taking a while to figure out exactly where you're going with this. But I see this supportive and this nurturing, this compassionate energy. This could be your own energy, and this could be the energy of someone around you. This King of Cups might be a supportive, could be a male in your life, doesn't have to be, but this could be a supportive person. What I like about this energy, especially if it is yours, is this is showing you stepping up in a leadership position. And I feel like this is you stepping up in a leadership position in your own life. This is you maybe taking charge and taking control over something in your life, stepping out in this new direction, stepping out in this new territory. But in this very, like, I want to say it's like, a lot of times when we start something new, we can go in completely foolish. Like, we can go in not knowing all the facts. We can go in not thinking through what exactly we should do and what our next steps might be. We can rush in. I'm not seeing that for you. I think this is a well thought out plan for you with the two knights that have showed up for you, and also just this King of Cups. This is a leader, but this is someone who's very empathetic, who doesn't forget about those who are important to them along the way, who doesn't forget about themselves. So this could be kind of your current energy. Like, I just want to say, don't leave yourself behind. And I feel like this is showing up for a reason. This is either because this is something you've realized or because it's something you need to hear. Don't leave yourself behind as you start out on this new journey. Be sure that you are being kind and nurturing to yourself, that you're not being too hard on yourself, that you're not expecting too much out of yourself, that you're not expecting yourself to have all of the answers. The Fool doesn't have the answers and doesn't really care. So it's a fun energy. It's a more playful energy. I feel like this could be new energy for you. I feel like this could be a message of, take some of the pressure off of this. You don't have to get it right. You don't have to have all of the answers. Be gentle with yourself and have fun. Make this a fun experience for yourself. Make this a fun journey. It doesn't have to be that serious, but still be compassionate. I feel like saying to you, be really serious about the compassion that you're showing to yourself. If anything, like, if you're going to be serious about anything right now, be serious about how you are treating yourself. Be serious about how you are nurturing yourself along this new journey. Don't compare yourself. That's what I'm hearing with this. Don't compare yourself. Be kind. See what you have that's special, and don't be worried about how you might not stack up, or how whatever you're offering might not be good enough. Be brave in this, but don't beat yourself up. You have to be kind to yourself. You have to be the kindest to yourself, because when you're able to show yourself compassion, that's what you're going to receive from the outside world. So with this being the current energy, I am seeing that a lot of you are probably embarking on something new, and that empathy and compassion is really key right now. I see you stepping up in a leadership role, but I also see you doing this in a very thoughtful way, and trying not to rush yourself. I hope that that's an energy that you can maintain, because there's really no reason to rush this. So I want to look now into what you don't see coming. Oh, wow. Okay. There's that tower again. There's that tower again. Wow. Okay. This could also be energy that you've already sensed on the horizon. I feel like I was picking up this energy throughout the entire reading so far. 7 of Pentacles. Okay. You know, as you're going through this journey, as you're stepping out as this Fool, I was just feeling the need to tell you guys to be compassionate with yourself from the very start of this reading. Like, before we even turned over your first oracle card, I was feeling that, and that's what I'm seeing here. So you guys might not see how hard you're being on yourself, or how hard you're about to be on yourself. And this is what I'm seeing here. I feel like as you venture along this journey, a lot of things are going to come up. There might even be a lot of shadow work that you're doing here with this Moon card. And it's just like you might have the tendency to think that this should all be happening faster, to think that you should be getting results faster, to even worry that you won't be able to maintain the results that you've already produced. That could be kind of a concern for a lot of you. I see you with the 7 of Pentacles, maybe looking at what's going on for you and thinking that might not be good enough. I might not be good enough. And that's just not the case. So this is the type of energy that could produce a tower moment in your life. But I feel like what you don't see coming is that you almost feel like there's going to be a tower moment, even if there isn't. I feel like being hard on yourself in that way could produce kind of the energy of everything collapsing around you. This could even be heavier energies that you are coming from, like feeling like everything is collapsing around you, like things that you've built up aren't working, like relationships are falling apart. I feel like a lot of this could be illusion with the Moon card. With the Moon, I'm always thinking that you're kind of digging into the depths here. You're kind of looking at the darker aspects of things. You might even be looking on the dark side of things more often, but you can be kind of going through a lot of shadow work. I feel like with the Fool energy, this Moon energy is always required. It either gets you there or it finds you shortly after you find yourself in that Fool energy. Because as you sort through that, like those more shadow aspects, it's going to send you on a new journey. Or sometimes we start taking the journey and we ask the questions later, and that could be the case for you. It could be that you've kind of stepped out in this new direction. You have decided you want to make some sort of change in your life, and then these more shadowy aspects start to show up. That happens very often because we're almost forcing that growth. Sometimes when we just take that leap, the growth follows. So I actually see this as a positive thing for you. I see that a lot might be coming to the surface for you. I see that something could trigger a lot of things to come to the surface for you that you might not realize. So it could be that you started on this new thing. You decided, hey, I want to take control of my life in this particular area, and you start out on this new journey. And then all these things start to come up. All of this, it could even be emotional baggage. All of these fears start to show themselves. You could maybe even feel like you're alone in this a lot of the time. And you might not have expected to feel that way when you first started out. So this could be something that you're just not seeing, that these kind of thought patterns could lead you to this sort of energy. I think that's the reason that all of this compassion, the need for this compassion for yourself as you take this journey is necessary. I think that a little bit of appreciation for the work that you have put in and for the results that you have been able to acquire so far, I feel like you need to look at these things and really pat yourself on the back. Don't let these things make you think that you won't have further success later. Don't let it make you think that this is just done, like that this idea is done for you, that that you're not good enough, that it's not going to work out for you, because I think a lot of these thoughts could be showing up for you, and the need for that compassion is very, very evident. So I feel like you guys, some of you might not see that you might be kind of venturing toward a more negative thought pattern, and I feel like others of you can catch yourself doing that. Like, you're catching yourself overthinking about things. You're catching some of these things that you might have pushed down. You're catching some of them coming to the surface for you more often. You're catching some of these thoughts of, I won't make it, I won't succeed, I might not be good enough, whatever I'm producing might not be good enough. You're catching some of those thoughts coming to the surface. And to be honest with you, when I sat down to do this reading, I'm really looking forward toward that 8/8 portal. Not like I'm so eager for it. I mean, I am kind of eager, but I'm already feeling the energy of it, and it is kind of intense. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. It's sort of intense. So I feel like for a lot of you, you're right on the cusp of something. You're right. I feel like a lot of you have already stepped into this Fool energy, but if you haven't, this is something I think you're going to be experiencing in the month of August. And I feel like our thoughts can become the darkest, and our worries can become the loudest. That negative voice in our head can become the loudest right when we're on the verge of something. And this is really, I feel like this energy that you don't see coming is a worry for you. It's more of a worry than a reality. It's more of a thought than anything that really happened. So you might find that you are more worried that things are going to fall apart for you, that something won't be able to be maintained, that something won't be good enough, that something won't work out. And it might even be about your expectations so far throughout the year. It could be that you're looking at what you expected to have happen by now or something like that, and you're like, I'm not sure if this is good enough, or I thought I'd be so far down this path by now, and I'm not. I don't think this is good enough. I don't think what I've done is good enough. I worry that it won't ever be more than this. So watch your thoughts, because this is really coming through to me more as thoughts and illusion with this moon energy. Fear is a lie. And it's really hard for us to understand that when we're in the middle of fear, worry, anxiety, running worst case scenarios. It's not even true, but it can feel so real. So please be compassionate with yourself. Please look at what you have accomplished and be happy about that. Be proud of yourself. It's so easy for us to write off our accomplishments and just say, oh, that didn't mean anything, on to the next goal. But what have you really done? Like, what have you actually done this year so far? Probably a lot more than you're giving yourself credit for by the looks of this. So, yeah, some of these thoughts, some of these darker aspects, some of these worries coming to the surface, you might not see that coming. You might not even see how you're feeding into them sometimes, because they can be disguised as ambition. I feel like a lot of times those kind of thoughts can be disguised as ambition. It starts out as, I just want to do more, I just want to do better, I just want to start out on this new thing and have success. And before you know it, it can become kind of a cycle of being really hard on ourselves, feeling really alone on our path. Having some of these worries come to the surface. Yeah. This is kind of a message here to trust your intuition. You might not realize that you might be faced with some sort of choice where you really need to trust your intuition. With the Moon card, I get heavy intuitive energy from that. And this can be like, if your intuition sent you on this path to begin with, trust it. Don't worry that it's going to all fall apart before your eyes. Trust that initial intuition that led you here. Okay. I am going to give us one more row to work with here. And I want this last row to be a little bit of advice. We're going to get further advice from some oracles, but let's just see what we can get. A little bit of advice about this energy. Yeah, talk about illusion with the Seven of Cups. Let's move this up. Talk about illusions. You know, if there's a tendency to kind of compare yourself with others, this Seven of Cups is saying to me, you know, sometimes it's not what it seems. Sometimes it's not as good as it seems. Sometimes the people that you think are very successful, that are very sure of themselves, that have it all figured out, they really don't have it figured out either. They're really going through some of the same stuff that you are. They really have these same worries and anxieties that you do. Let's look at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Knight of Swords. You had so many knights show up. 3 of the 4. Am I right about that? We have the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We have the Knight of Cups here, and we have the Knight of Swords here. I think that movement and progress is really important to you right now. But there is a difference between moving in flow, moving in sync, moving in a way that is productive and conducive to our overall health and well-being, and there's a different type of movement too. There's a rushing, and I think your guides want you to make sure that you're not rushing. What usually stands out to me about this Knight of Swords is the look on the horse's face. If that doesn't say it all, I feel like the knight himself and the horse that he's riding on are one at this moment. They are moving as one. This horse is doing what the knight instructs him to do. The horse is going where the knight instructs him to go. But if you look at the expression on that horse's face, he looks strained, he looks tired, he looks worried, he looks stressed out. You know, it's all happening too fast. So I do think that progress is important for you here with all of these knights showing up, all of this movement showing up for you, but the way that you do it is going to be key. This Knight of Cups energy, moving forward with compassion, moving forward, caring for the self while you're making this progress is what's being highlighted as a way for you to go. Moving forward in a way that's stressful and that is straining you and that doesn't feel quite right. And also, this is kind of that energy of like, this doesn't check in with intuition. We were talking about leaning on your intuition and this moon card really speaking to that. I feel like sometimes the Knight of Swords, there is no intuition. He's out to get something. He's out to go somewhere. And even if somewhere along this journey, something inside of him said, you know what, we need to stop and rest. We need to stop and think about this. Maybe we need to change directions altogether. I feel like he would not receive that guidance because he is dead set on getting where he's going. If anything, I feel like this horse is the one that's like, hey, something doesn't feel right. So this horse might be more intuitive about that kind of needing to check in and make sure we're still on the right path. So yeah, to me, this is saying how you move is going to really matter here. It's actually going to let you make more progress. Maybe even slowing down is going to allow you to make more progress. So yeah, we have this idea of illusion coming up multiple times. I think that your guides, in terms of advice, I'm still getting self-care vibes, even from the Ten of Swords, which is so crazy. I don't know if I've ever read this this way, but to me, this is showing the difference between this King of Cups, this Knight of Cups energy, this very nurturing energy, this energy that helps you move forward to your next goal, that takes care of you. It's energy of taking care of yourself as you move forward to your next goal versus being completely consumed, being stressed and exhausted, having too many burdens. Being completely taken down. And I feel like this Knight of Swords energy in this case would lead straight to this Ten of Swords. If I had to say where he's running to, this would be it. So the advice is, even if it seems like it's slow, it's fine. Like, you're fine. The most important thing is for you to nurture yourself. I also think your intuition is super key right now. Like, not just to help you along your journey to make sure you're still on the right path, but also taking the time to check in with that intuition, to make sure that this feels right, to make sure that it's going right, to make sure that you're still on a path that your soul is jiving with. I feel like that's really important right now. And if you were to move too fast, this is not saying that you are. This is actually coming out in your advice. And I am reading this as, don't move so fast that you can't listen to your inner voice, because we can do that. This knight cannot hear his inner voice. All he can hear is the wind. He's gone. Don't move so fast that you can't hear your inner voice. Yeah, I'm wondering if, I feel like you guys are making progress and moving toward some kind of financial stability, something you want to like really shore up for yourself, something you want to solidify for yourself with this Four of Pentacles under the Knight of Swords. But it's like you don't have to get there yesterday. It doesn't have to be as fast for you to be able to secure this. You don't have to stress and strain for you to be able to secure this. I was actually listening to a talk about that the other day, and it's sort of like, it's the idea that you can believe that great things can happen in your life even when you aren't stressing yourself out, even when you aren't beating your head against a wall, even when you feel well rested and you feel clear-headed. These are things that are actually an indication that you're on the right track, but sometimes we use that stress and that strain as an indication like we're working really hard and we're going to get where we're trying to go. It can actually be quite the opposite. So yeah, your guides want you to not be fooled. Don't be fooled by illusion. Don't be fooled by the idea that something will be lost. And don't be fooled by the misconception that you have to hustle so hard to get what you want. Be gentle with yourself, as was coming out with these initial stones. So yeah, I actually have a deck here for clarification. So let's see what I want to clarify here. There was something that was kind of jumping out to me a while ago. Let's clarify this Tower. Let's see. Why is this Tower here? Why is the Tower here, Spirit? Have you guys been overworking? As I'm sitting here looking at this, this Five of Pentacles, and I'm looking at how these people are, it's like they're headed right for the Tower. So for some of you, if you have been overworking, yeah, Six of Inspiration, so Six of Wands. This is all for a victory. This is for the idea of victory. This is for the idea of success. This is for recognition. I feel like it could have the potential to kind of go the other way. Let's clarify this Seven of Cups. Why is the Seven of Cups here? We have here the Seven of Emotions, Seven of Cups, clarifying the Seven of Cups, and the Two of Voices. So with the Two of Voices or the Two of Swords, we're talking about making a decision. We can be even talking about compromising. We can be talking about, for me, a lot of times, making a decision based on intuition. So yeah, we have the Seven of Cups showing up multiple times, and that can be that there seems like there's too many choices. So a lot that can lead to this this kind of feeling of confusion, or that feeling of illusion that we were talking about. There's too many choices. There might be I feel like you guys are overloaded with ideas right now, which is a great thing. It is a great thing. There might be so many paths that you could see yourself taking with this Fool energy. So many paths that you could see yourself taking. So many paths that could lead to some form of success. But this is really a message to feel out intuitively what actually feels right to you. Because I think that for a lot of you, you can be led to this area of stress and overwhelm because of all of these ideas, because of trying to do things, do too many things at once. But with the Two of Swords, I'm usually led back to this idea of choosing from an intuitive place, which is interesting because Swords energy is so intellectual, but that's almost the point to me a lot of times. It's like we think that because it makes logical sense, it also makes logical sense for us to do it. But it doesn't always. Sometimes we have to rely on our intuition to point us in the right direction. And then you can use all of that intellectual energy to move you forward once you've decided what you want to do. But yeah, I see for a lot of you that this is going to come back to an intuitive feeling and to a nurturing feeling. So I wanted to close your reading with some self-love cards. I pulled these out because I kind of feel like we all need a little bit of self-love and self-care. So we're going to look at this oracle and just get some advice on what you can do, what you can be doing during this time to best care for yourself. Whenever the deck does this, like, doesn't want to cooperate with me, I'm usually like, I have to think about that. Like, is there a little bit of resistance to this idea of self-care? This can also have to do, yeah, it's happening again. This can also have to do with the decisions, like being torn between two decisions. And they can be decisions that don't feel like they fit together very well. Like feeling like, well, if I choose this, then I have to leave this behind. If I kind of like with this Five of Cups energy here, if I let these 3 cups go so that I can have these, then I'm not really sure how I feel about that. Kind of maybe wanting to have it all, wanting to do it all, but this will lead to a place of overwhelm and stress. So let's see. What do we have? So we have dance and spend time with friends. I love this energy for you because as soon as I saw dance, I'm like, yeah, this energy of dancing, this energy of kind of like letting loose, cutting loose. We've got some ashes on the table. Sorry, you guys. It's the opposite energy to this strain or this worry that a tower moment may approach. It's just this energy of being free. So yeah, connect with those that make you feel the most free, those that you can spend good quality time with, that you can just kick back and relax with, that you can just whatever it is that you do, like with your friends. And this can also be about spending time alone. For some of you that maybe you don't feel like you have those friend connections, or you do enjoy being in your own company, blast the music and dance around like a fool all by yourself if that's what you feel called to do. And spend some time doing both. If you have those great connections, super. Spend time with them. Spend some time cutting loose on your own. But this really gives me the energy of just be kind to yourself. Just be easy with yourself. Let this unfold naturally. You don't have to stress and strain. You deserve all of these blessings that are coming into your life. You deserve to take control over your life and be compassionate with yourself as you are chasing down these dreams. You can still have everything, but you don't have to be in the Ten of Swords energy, and you don't have to worry that it won't be good enough, because it will be good enough, especially if you take the time to nurture yourself along the journey. So yes, I think I'm going to leave it there. That's all the messages I see for you. I'm hoping that this helped, especially if you were kind of feeling the way I was feeling about this month so far. Hope this is some good energy and some good things to keep in mind as you continue through this month. So yes, I'm going to leave it there. If you did like this reading, if you resonated with any of these messages, don't forget to like the video, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button if you feel like it. And hopefully I will see you again really, really, really soon in another reading. Bye!